Guys, AC here. Welcome to another video. I have always thought about doing this video, and obviously yesterday was International Women's Day, so I thought I'll do this. It's a proper good time to do a list of women's fragrances that I really enjoy, and I want to share it with you because I think there is merit in expanding your horizons and trying women's fragrances and see if they work for you. And I think to a certain extent this is marketing. Fragrances are genderless. It's basically marketing. So, but yeah, some fragrances may or may not be to your taste. So that's a given. So let's start. Number one fragrance from my list is a fragrance which I reviewed recently, and I did it from here. It's a stunning Guerlain. Everybody loves it. It is, I think you guessed it now. It is Guerlain Shalimar EDP. Now, do check out my review if you have a moment. But in a nutshell, this is a fragrance that has oodles and oodles of warmth, charisma. When you wear this fragrance, it's almost 100 years when this was made. So when you wear this fragrance, you're not only wearing a historical artifact, if you like, a work of art, but it also will touch you. Yeah, you will realize why this is survived 100 years. You'll also realize why masterful perfumery will never go out of fashion. Whenever things like these are made, they are timeless. Yeah. So what does this fragrance have? The emphasis of this fragrance is there are very many variations. This one, EDP, works on leather, vanilla, along with slight dirtiness, sexy dirtiness, and a little bit of spicy floral. That's all this fragrance is. But every time you wear it, in every different season you wear it, you're going to enjoy this. Especially if you're in the company of a beautiful woman or by yourself. It's a highly romantic fragrance. So yeah, this is one fragrance I thoroughly enjoy, and I'll show you. I've got two different variations to this. So I've got the Extrait. This is Shalimar Extrait. Now this one is got the most amazing vanilla I've ever smelled. Obviously it's probably 3 times the price of that 100 ml, and this is only a 30 ml Extrait. It's going to set you back by about 170 odd pounds, but it's worth investing in if you definitely like Shalimar. And there's another one. This is the Vintage, and I recently acquired this, but look at the dent I've put into this one. It's so close to my heart. This is probably one of the most artistic variations on the DNA of Shalimar. This is slightly more animalic because this is, I believe, a 1980s vintage. So slightly more animalic, but the depth in this fragrance is phenomenal. And it's called Parfum de Toilette. So basically, I'm assuming it's somewhere between an EDT and an EDP. What a beautiful fragrance this is. So Shalimar is a woman's fragrance I proudly wear. I love it, and I generally tend to wear it when I'm in my own company. So, or indoors on a very cold day. It's perfect mood enhancer. I really encourage you to try it. So the next one is a sort of one of the most celebrated chypres ever made. Yeah. And it is a Chanel. It's a vintage Chanel number 19. Now, this is a recent acquisition, but I've always been a fan of the Eau de Parfum. So I've been enjoying the Eau de Parfum for a while, and then recently I acquired a vintage number 19 EDT. I've smelled the current version, which is equally nice. So what this fragrance is all about is and this is basically a splash bottle with a screw cap. Now, it's full-on aldehydic, floral, mossy green. It's just amazing. The two notes that stand out for me are, in this particular version, one of the most, photorealistic or amazingly rich oak moss, along with a stunning galbanum. Now, galbanum is a green, slightly bitter, slightly spongy, if you like. You can feel it. Note, which is amazingly aromatic. So galbanum and aldehydes along with oak moss. This is what I get. It's very mossy green with a big floral heart. It also has, I think, ylang ylang and tuberose along with jasmine and neroli, I believe, or orange blossom. Either of those two. This is a chypre. If you like chypres, if you like classical chypres, I'd highly recommend you this. Even the latest version is pretty fine. The difference in the eau de parfum, which I really enjoy, but I think the EDT is a superior fragrance, is it also has a very deep green, wonderfully executed iris. Yeah, there's also a note of hyacinth. Hyacinth has this very narcotic quality. So yeah, iris and hyacinth are two distinct notes I get in this one. This is slightly more feminine, that because of aldehydes is a bit more unisex, even leaning masculine. Okay, next on my list. So I'll also tell you why I'm doing 5. When I do 10, a lot of good fragrances get ignored because 10 is a lot to take. So I'm doing 5 so that I can hold your attention for all 5 of them. So the next one is a fragrance which I have reviewed recently, and it was an exclusive YouTube review, and this one is called Imperial Tang and Oriental Pearl. I always get the names mixed. So the name of the fragrance is Oriental Pearl and the name of the company is Imperial Tang. Now this one is basically a take on Chanel's Coromandel EDT, which is basically now discontinued. You can get the EDP now, which is pretty good, but the EDT was a masterpiece, right? This fragrance is close to being a very close replica of the EDT. This one is slightly more amped up on the lemoniness and the floral side. The chocolate is subdued and you don't get the varnish-like smell that you would get in Coromandel EDT Classic. So those are the two differences. I've reviewed it, do check it out. This is a fantastic fragrance, I love it. It's not feminine. This is pretty unisex, as is Coromandel. So that was number 3 in my list. Number 4, I have a love for leather, and it's no secret. Next one is also a chypre, but it's a leather chypre. Yeah, it is a fragrance that doesn't get a lot of talk. It is Azuree by Este Lauder. I hope I'm picking this up. This one is very expensive because it's the extrait version and it's also a vintage. The current bottles don't look like this, but it's still available in production. All these fragrances are in production. The current version doesn't have the kind of aldehydes you would get in an 80s fragrance. But I tell you what, if you're slightly experienced with fragrances and especially with classics, try this one. This is an absolutely stunning leather chypre. So it's obviously got leather. It has a very refined oak moss, very different to the oak moss you will get in Chanel No. 9. The emphasis is on spicy earthiness. This is also a very sharp fragrance as compared to 19. 19 is a very rounded and soft fragrance. This one is sharp, bold and masculine. I can't believe this was released for women in the 80s because this has got 3 or 4 spices: thyme, sage, artemisia. Those are the spices which combined with that leather and the aldehyde and the oak moss make it a thorough masculine. A lot of masculines of today's time will pale in comparison. Yeah, this is a superb fragrance. There are 2 or 3 fragrances I can name to give you an idea how this smells. This is compared to Bandit by Robert Puget, I believe. I hope I'm pronouncing the name properly. The other one it's compared to is, it's basically known as the female version of Aramis Aramis. It's also compared to Cabochard. Now I haven't smelled all of them, especially not in the vintage formulation, but I love this one. It's also got a very nice, beautiful geranium in the middle. But geranium makes this fragrance so attractive initially. You think you're wearing something very bold, but when geranium comes in, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to do a full review of this one soon. I haven't worn this as much as I would have loved to. I've had this bottle for a year, but I'm planning to wear this a bit more because this is the right time to wear chypres. In between weather, in between spring and winter, beautiful time. Another one for women, which I enjoy. I find it very difficult to accept that this fragrance is marketed for women. It's very masculine. Next one is the last one in the list, is basically the cherry on the cake. This is a recent acquisition. It is thanks to one of my subscribers, and his name is Munish. He recommended this. It's called Rasathi Kasama Morhaf. Boys, this fragrance, although it's all pink color suggesting it to be feminine, is fairly and squarely a unisex fragrance. This is my scent of the evening, and what I can tell you is, in a nutshell, this is a tarty, floral, woody scent. But that would be doing disservice to the fragrance. Yeah. So what are the woods here? Sandalwood and oud. The tarty elements are lemon and bergamot. The floral elements are deep rose, a beautiful jammy deep rose along with geranium. Yeah. It's also got ylang ylang, and it's got tuberose. The two notes which are a no-no for me, because I know that tuberose and ylang ylang, I love them, but it's very feminine. It leans very feminine, not this one. Now recently, one of my subscribers gave me a tip-off, and he said that this was basically very close to Roja's Nuva. Now I'm stunned, because I have not smelled Roja's Nuva, but I know that Nuva is one of the most critically acclaimed Rojas. Now, without smelling Roja's Nuva, I can tell you one thing. The opulence and richness of this fragrance is at the level of Rojas. I've had a lot of experience with Rojas. The opulence and richness and depth and the complexity of this fragrance is at par with a Roja fragrance. And this is available for, this is a 65 ml bottle, available for 23 pounds in Notino if you're in the UK. I recommend you try this. You'll be blown away, especially if you like woody, tarty florals. Yeah. But as I said, it will be doing disservice. There's much more than that. It's just a stunner. So I hope you enjoyed this list, and I'll do a few more of these, because I've got quite a few fragrances which are technically marketed for women, but I love them. Hope you like the list, fellas. Take care. Bye-bye.